Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to take you guys into my hideout that I have fully 100% upgraded and just go over if it's all worth it to you, do a quick run through of the hideout and let you know if you're a new player or someone who's been playing for a while and you haven't really focused on the hideout. I'm going to just go through everything right now and we're going to talk about it and we're going to tell you if it's worth it or not and why. So let's get into it. Okay, so we're gonna start with the laboratory, which I have mine maxed out at level 3. Full disclosure here, I'm gonna go through and tell you guys what I actually use these for. I'm not gonna tell you about each individual thing. I'm going to just say what I use it for. So you may tell me in the comments like, oh, you need to be doing this, you're missing opportunities here and here. Okay, cool. This is as real as it gets. This is what I actually use it for, not what someone is gonna tell you you can use it for. This is what I'm doing every day on my stream, every day offline. Laboratory, the only thing I do is craft mag boxes. That's all I use this for. If it were earlier in the wipe, I would craft hose. There's a lot of hose needed to fully upgrade your hideout, and being able to craft those is really handy. Other than that, I don't use it for the air filters. I feel like buying these is a better value than actually making them with the ingredients. So again, the only thing I use the laboratory for is the mag box. Now, these three items right here, the scissors, the bolts, and the screws and whatnot, I find in raid. Sometimes I find a fuel in raid as well. Mostly I'll buy it off the flea market, use it, fuel my hideout, and then once it runs out, it gets turned into scraps, which go to mag boxes. So that's kind of the cycle there for me. First it's fuel, and then I use it to do mag boxes. I'm gonna skip over the stash here because I have EOD and I didn't have to go through this, but obviously this is just, if you don't have EOD, this is for upgrading your stash size, which is 100% worth it. Would recommend. Next we have the scav case. You'll get various answers telling you, oh, do the 6,000, you'll always make your money back. Do the 70,000, do the intelligence folder, or do the moonshine. I have been avoiding this for a very long time. I used it for a while when it was only 70,000 was the best thing you could do, and then I just stopped because what I felt like was happening is that I was more or less breaking even constantly because I'd get bad rolls, and then I'd get something good and it would make up for all the bad, but I would never really profit from it. People say that, you know, the moonshine and the intelligence folder are worth it. I know, I've seen pictures of what people have gotten. I mean, you can get Red Rebel ice picks worth, you know, 5 million. You can get some of the new keys worth, you know, 5-10 million. So it's up to you. It's a gamble. You might get something good right off the bat. It might not take you long and it's worth it for you, but in the end, the scav case is just a, you know, a gamble you can do every couple of hours to see if you pull in something big. So it's just for fun. It's, if you like gambling, then go for it. Moving on to the nutrition station at level 3. I use this to deconstruct chocolate bars. Again, this is what I do with it, not what I think you should be doing. Maybe I'm missing out on something good here, but really all I need is the sugar from these chocolate bars, which I'll get to in a little bit why I use that. It's over here in the water and the booze is what I use the sugar for, but as nutrition station goes, I just use it to deconstruct chocolate. Air filtering unit. This is for the big old giant FP100 air filters. This boosts your physical skill gain by 40%. Endurance, strength, vitality, health, stress, resistance, metabolism, and immunity whenever that comes into play. All gets boosted by 40% for 12 hours. Is it worth it? Yes. Whenever you do have a couple hours or a long block of time or a weekend to play the game, throw in an air filter, absolutely. 40% more, you know, skill ups is going to be worth it after a few months in a wipe cycle because you'll just have more endurance, more strength, and everything than everybody else that doesn't use the air filter. And this is good because, you know, endurance, you run faster, longer, strength, carry more, run faster. These are just good benefits and worth actually having. So air filtering unit, totally worth it. Heating unit, this increases your energy regeneration rate and negative effect removal rate minus 50%. So library, very similar to the air filter unit, but it's permanent. You don't have to do anything except have it. It's 15% experience point bonus in everything that you do, and then it's practical skills plus 30%. So practical being covert movement, search skill, mag, drills. That's all that's in right now. Covert movement and search are really good skills to have. With covert movement, all movement is quieter, so people won't be able to hear you as easily, and search skill increases the speed at which you can search things. And the elite level that I have lets you search 2 things at a time. So basically when you're searching a body, you can do the backpack and the rig at the same time. So it's really handy. Rest space is another one of those things that just increases, you know, energy regeneration rate, health regeneration rate and stuff like that. So then we have the med station. And so this is the first time I've pulled this up in a long while, if that tells you anything. It's not that these crafts are bad, it's just I prefer going to therapists, buying this stuff outright. I have made grizzlies in here before with, you know, 5 scraps of meds. People make IFAKs in here. The Propital might actually be nice to do a craft with. I'm wondering if you can use a golden star that's almost empty, like a 1 out of 10, because if you can, then this is very, very worth it. If you guys aren't familiar with the yellow stem Propital, it's a painkiller just like morphine, very fast, and it also gives you health regeneration for 4 minutes. So I'm looking here, it's asking for the ingredients to craft this. It's letting me use the 3 out of 12 ibuprofen, the 2 out of 10 golden star, and then 2 meds. So actually, highly recommend doing this one. I'm gonna start doing this now that I know you don't have to have a full on 10 out of 10 golden star, because those are worth like 50,000, and if you use a full one, the value just really isn't all there for me. But with what I just did, this is a fantastic value. That's 7 raids of a really good quick painkiller, again with health regeneration, so totally worth it. And then this one here, the SJ1 stem, is one of those stems now that lets you run just faster and longer and is really, really OP in this current new weight system. As far as this one goes, this could also be worth it, but I don't use it right now, so I can't really speak on it. Okay, next we have the booze generator. So this is where you start using that sugar you were deconstructing earlier. So you put 2 sugar and 1 purified water together, and then you could start crafting a moonshine. So with the moonshine, you can use this at the scav case if you are a gambling person, or you can actually just sell the moonshine outright for over 250k pretty much all the time. So it's just really quick, easy money to make in your hideout, and that's one of the biggest reasons I think to upgrade the hideout. So same with like the mag cases, right? I can sell these mag cases for over 300k a piece. I can sell the moonshine for close to 300k, and then what we're gonna get to here in a second with the Bitcoin farm and the workbench. These are all just really good ways to make money without actually having to go into a raid, which for a lot of people is a huge deal, because if you're not necessarily great at this game, right? If you're not necessarily someone who can go into a raid and just come out with 1,000,000 rubles profit, the hideout really backs you up and really makes it to where you have a lot of leeway, and you can fail a lot more in raids and still not go negative. Which, think about it, the hideout used to not be here. So back in the day, I know I sound like a grandpa here, back in my day, there was no hideout, there was no Bitcoin farm, no moonshine, no mag box crafting. So all of this extra profit that you're gonna get with the hideout, you didn't get before. So now that this is available to you all, you absolutely have to take advantage of this. Here you can actually make the water you need to make the moonshine. So it's really easy. They kind of have everything laid out for you. You just have to go get the sugar or chocolate bars and these water filters, and then you can just make moonshine all day long. Moving on, we have probably the biggest reason to do the hideout, and what I get asked most, is it worth it? Yes, the Bitcoin farm is worth it. I promise you it is. So I'm at max here. I have 50 graphics cards in this thing generating Bitcoins. About every 5 hours I get 1 Bitcoin. This thing can hold up to 3, and then I have to collect it, otherwise it won't make any more. So it only makes more once you collect your 3. So basically the way I use this is every day when I get on, at least once a day, because I open up this game at least once a day. I get on, I collect my 3 Bitcoins. At the end of the week, that's, if I've gotten on once every day, that is 21 Bitcoins that you can make by not doing a single thing. Okay, you don't have to do anything. The hideout does it for you. You just get on, collect once a day. 21 Bitcoins at 145,000 rubles each is over, let me do a little math, just over 3 million rubles a week of doing nothing at all. 3 million rubles. So just to recap here, all of the things that I have in here that are making me money so far. We have the Bitcoin farm, which is doing 3 million a week. We have the laboratory, which I'm using to make mag boxes. So that's 300k per box. Let's say I do 1 a day. Let's start small. Let's do 1 a day. Every day I get on, I start a new mag box. That is 300k times 7. That is 2.1 million a week in mag boxes, plus my 3 million from the Bitcoin farm. That's 5.1 million. And then let's say I have a couple of moonshines being made, right? So let's say I do 5 a week, because sometimes I don't always have a water filter. So 5 moonshines a week at roughly 280k. Let's just round it down to 250. 250 times 5, that's like 1.25 million in addition to the 5.1 million. 6.4 ish million a week just from not playing any raids at all. About 6 million rubles a week just from Hideout with these 3 money makers right here. Now we have the intelligence center, and this is good for a couple of things. Scav cooldown timer minus 35%. So basically, if you're wanting to use your scav a lot, having an increased intelligence center will let you do that more often. Quest money rewards, you actually get more money for every quest you complete. Insurance return time, you get your insurance back faster. And then flea market commission, it's 30% less to put up things on the flea market. So this is just a little boost to a couple different aspects, a couple different areas that are nice. Most people like to scav, most people use the flea, and most people and at some point do the questing and use insurance. So that's worth it for sure. Other than that, 2 things you can do. If I recall correctly, by the time you can get to be able to craft flash drives in your intelligence center, you don't actually need too many more flash drives, maybe 3, again, if I remember correctly. So you're not going to have access to this in the beginning when you actually need all the flash drives, so it's not going to be there to help you. And then the intelligence folder for 3 flash drives. Right now, flash drives are going for 50, 60k. Let's do 3 at 180k. So 180k, and then you can craft an intelligence folder, and then the intelligence folder goes for about 200k. So you tell me if that's worth it. And then we have the workbench. I think there's 3 things I do with the workbench. One of them is craft 762 BP ammo just with 1 little green gunpowder. This one right here takes 2.5 hours, creates 120 bullets. I find this gunpowder whenever I do this, like I don't actually buy the gunpowder outright, but let's say I did. Let's say it's about 55k for the gunpowder. It's gonna make me 120 bullets, and if I can just check and see what the bullets are going for right now, about 810 rubles is the cheapest. So if I do 810 times 120, you get 97k, 970,000 rubles worth of bullets, right? And let's just go back so we can remember the green gunpowder you can outright buy for 56k. Assuming you found green gunpowder, you can make a quick roughly 100k profit in 2 hours just from that gunpowder, just from creating the bullets and crafting those out. The other thing people like to do with the green gunpowder is make M995, which is a very, very expensive bullet. Might be just about the most expensive in the game. It's the best 5.56 ammo. It was meta for so long, and now the price has been almost increased like 3 or 4 fold, something like that. So being able to craft M995 that's actually worth most people's time. And then the other thing I use this for is 9x39 BP. It's about 1400 a bullet for the BP, and then I can make 80 of them with 1 craft. That's 112,000. Workbench, absolutely. Again, even if you just buy the items off the flea market, you'll pretty much make money. So all of this stuff combined, over 6 million rubles in weekly income. If you hop on once a day before you go to bed, when you get up in the morning, make sure everything's tended to. Right now, there's no queue system. So something I want to see, and something I really think is going to help a lot of people that can't get on so often, it's going to be a queue system. I want to be able to set up 10 charges of, say, this BP craft, right? So if I have 10 of these filters, 10 of these red gunpowders, I want to queue up 10 of these whenever I am able to get on. It's going to take 10 times 2 hours. You know, it's going to take over 20 hours to do, but I only have to get on that one time. I don't have to get back on every 2 hours to redo this craft 10 times, you know, because that's who actually has time for that. So what I want to see them do is add a queue system to where you can load up all the ingredients of whatever you have, and then actually just let time go and then reap the rewards whenever you're able to come back. The last thing we have in the hideout is a shooting range, and if you guys haven't experienced the shooting range, it is exactly as it sounds. Basically, you come in here. I don't have a gun on me. Basically, you come over here, you pull out the gun that you just made, and then you're able to fire it off and see how it feels and handles with no penalty at all. You don't actually spend ammo. It's basically unlimited ammo. If your mag runs dry, you just kind of have to back up a little bit and reset. So shooting range, just as it sounds, it's quicker than loading into an offline raid by far. And then if you just want to test out a bunch of different guns, you can just run right back to the stash and pull those out. And so that brings us to the end of it. Like I said, this is how I use the hideout, okay? I'm sure there are people that use every other aspect of the hideout that I don't use, and I'm sure they have strong cases for doing it, and it's probably worth doing. But this is me. This is what I do. I just wanted to show you guys. I wanted to be as real as I could and not kind of like, you know, spice it up, and just literally show you what I use it for. So hopefully now you have a better understanding of the hideout. You know if it's something that you want to pursue. Again, I'm making about 6 million a week off of this just from doing really nothing. It does take a lot of time to get the hideout built. I know I did spend a long time doing it, especially at the beginning of a wipe. All of the resources that it's going to ask you for, all of the hose, the capacitors, the flash drives, everything like that in the beginning of a wipe is expensive. I'm going to be blunt with you. Hose now we're going for 15, 20k. At the beginning of the wipe, they were going for 200 or 300k, and you need several, and I'm talking several. But here's the thing, long term, the 4, 5, 6 or beyond months that you will be playing a wipe before they reset the game, every week pulling in this much income, I have 100% made all the money I spent in my hideout back, and I'm just reaping all the benefits. I think someone's done the math on a full Bitcoin farm, because obviously, you know, graphics cards are going for 300k a piece. You need 50 of them. A lot of people ask, is that worth it? Because I could just sell 50 graphics cards for 15 million for all these graphics cards. You know, are the Bitcoins actually going to make that back? Yes, they are. It takes about a month. If I remember right, someone has done the math. There's a chart out there. It takes about a month to get the money you spent on your Bitcoin farm back. And again, these wipe cycles can go 4, 5, 6 or beyond months. So 100% the hideout is worth it. And that's what I use it for. And that's how I'm making money doing it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for hanging out and checking out another video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, I stream on Twitch as well. So if you ever have any questions, feel free to drop by. I am always happy to help. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.